asking would be.
All right, guys, we're gonna go live. We're gonna go live in 5.
All right, Joe. Let me know when you're ready.
4.
And we're back. This is your boy Luis, and this is Sky Collectors, and I'm here with my co-host
Chris here. The weather is beautiful, and now I'm going to pass it off to my other tri-host.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I'm reporting live from Bedminster, New Jersey, and I have not shaved my nipples in a good 2 weeks. And there are people concerned, mostly my dog. We cannot cut this because the world needs to know. Please don't Google my name because I have a professional side as well. Thank you.
Sorry, Joe. I should get a news from the studio. Are you wearing a shirt currently?
Yes, it's a Hot Topic exclusive from Gregorian Games from the movie Ready Player One.
Okay, cool. So we're actually getting feedback from your audio channel. Actually, we need you to take off that shirt.
So here's the thing. I cannot do that because I promised my mother I would not inflict lust upon the nations. So there's that.
It's okay. You actually signed a contract to this studio, so you have an obligation to take that off.
Are we going to be reviewing Fast and the Furious? Because family first, and I promised my mom.
Well, guys, yep, sorry. We just had to do that. Well, I wanted to do that. Well, thank you guys for watching that. We're out. No, I'm playing. But this Guy Collectors, thank you guys for watching us. Thank you guys for your support. We're actually gonna do something a little bit differently today in hype of what we've been talking about or what we're going to be talking about. But before we do that, before we get into it,
Mom, the meatloaf.
We want it now.
Oh, I'm
we want
sorry.
it now.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you're good.
Sorry.
No meatloafs here. Only subscriptions.
Yes.
So subscribe now if you want to
Hit
get
it.
that meatloaf delivered right now. Like, share, and hit that notification.
I don't want to say that we're the DoorDash of YouTube nerd reviews, but we kind of are. So
We are. We provide that service.
And I also would like to thank everybody. We just hit a milestone. We hit 200 subs. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
200 foot longs.
Yeah. We
I
got
am
a
hungry.
stack.
I am hungry.
We flipped that. We made that 2. And we're going to flip that stack and make it 4. Flip that, make it 8. Next thing you know, we're going to have 1K. Well, I'm sorry.
We're coming to a town near you, so get your tickets.
Coming down. Yeah, that's right. Sky Guy. Mixtape.
Reese is going to drop it like it's hot.
You already know.
All over your table.
Watch out, Kennesing, Minnesota. I'm coming.
But yeah, serious note, guys. Thank you guys for that. We did hit a milestone, hitting that 200. I want to thank my co-stars here, Chris and Joe. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Thank you.
They're the masterminds behind this.
We can't go through this without your good looks, man. I'm sorry.
Let's be honest. Joe is the reason why I still live. So,
guys, I can't even say how little I do and how much my mind is not a master of anything. I forgot to go to the bathroom before we even talked. We might have an incident mid film.
No.
You don't want to trust me with masterminding anything.
Oh, too late. We have. But
I got a bottle. I just need to finish it first.
Water. We're sponsored by Poland Spring, but
That
not
might
really.
be making it worse.
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
But yeah, guys. So today we're going to be talking about another TV show on HBO Max. I know we keep talking about Disney Plus, but guys, HBO Max is where you got to get your subscriptions because
Euphoria.
that's where you're going to get your DC comics.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And Harry Potter and Euphoria and In the
Zendaya.
Heights.
Yeah, Anna Heights.
Mhm.
Wait, did you say
In the
Anna?
Heights. Oh, no, in the Heights.
In the Heights?
Yeah, in
Like
the Heights.
Hasbrook
Dude.
Heights?
No, like Lin-Manuel, like Hispanics. No. Okay, this is awkward.
I'm only like 0.05% Hispanic, so
That's true. It's true. But so, guys, if you don't have HBO Max, definitely get it because we're going to be talking about
Titans.
Peacemaker.
Oh,
Yes, Titans. Well,
I just finished Titans.
This is awkward.
Okay.
Titans is good though.
But,
the wrong show.
But no, we're not going to be talking about Titans and fake Robin. We're going to be talking about. Oops, sorry, Joe, that I hit in there. Sorry. We're going to be talking about Peacemaker and the big muscle John Cena.
You're just like the title character, and you're being
and
a
that's
dick.
not a toilet seat. That's not a toilet seat on his head. It's a beacon of freedom.
The beacon of freedom. Hey, Joe, you got to let us know when you're being sarcastic so we know beforehand.
So, wait, what? I don't get it. Did I miss the joke?
Oh, dang it. Joe's being vigilante, guys.
Throw the Superman meme in there.
But if you guys haven't watched Peacemaker, please stop this video. Go watch Peacemaker. It's, I think, 8 episodes?
8 episodes of goodness.
Of goodness. But if you're still watching, I'm assuming you watch Peacemaker. I'm gonna go right into it. I'm gonna go with my boy Joe. Joe, initial thoughts of the whole entire season.
Okay, I think we need to take just a quick moment and just talk about TV shows in general and how this has the best opening theme music of anything. Move over, yes. Full House. Not today, Family Matters. Get out of the way, Urkel. It's a bop. It's a flippin' bop. I love the music.
It's 80s
and I
music,
love the
man.
stupid dancing so bad.
Yes.
I can't. No. The stomp up like this. Yes. I mean, seriously, just so good. So we never actually reviewed Suicide Squad, the James Gunn version that came out over the summer, and this was a direct continuation of it. And John Cena's character in there was fine, but it wasn't like anything stand out. So I think, I don't know about you guys, but I felt kind of weird when they announced that they're going to give this guy a spinoff. But I'm like, okay, I guess it's John Cena. He's got some star power. I was not ready to feel the way about an eagle that I did.
Dad, get the camera. Dad, get the camera. Get the camera.
Overall, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into plot points later, but I thought the show consistently kept me coming back every week. I thought the storyline was good. I said this on the podcast before that I really have a problem with DC's consistency. And we'll save it for the end, but even with the cameos at the end, it's just kind of like, okay, what universe are we in? How does this relate to Man of Steel, which was like the Iron Man of DC universe? But in this case, because it was more of a comedy, I was able to step out of it. But more than a comedy, it had serious moments. It actually made you really care about the characters. Which I thought was good. I thought all the actors in it were great. I loved it all. I loved it. I loved the whole thing. I thought it was phenomenal. It was really crass, really dirty, really violent, but very James Gunn. It was just guys, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. You heard it. Cool. Chris, what's your initial thoughts right now on Peacemaker?
Going off what Joe's saying, I was worried too that we had the Suicide Squad and then somebody was already getting a spin-off show. Like John Cena, he's no Rock, okay? He's no Rock, mm-hmm. But he's starting to turn into the Rock in terms of being a good actor. I mean, I had fun with the show. It really, literally picked up from the Suicide Squad. James Gunn, awesome director. I believe him and Zack Snyder should both be the two-headed monster leading DC forward from now on, because the movies, for me, lately haven't been consistent, but the TV shows have been consistent. That's the weird thing, with Warner Brothers. But if I could sum summarize the whole show. It was a fun show. You know, not only with the acting, not with the story, but also the soundtrack. The soundtrack had you bopping with them in the show, which is cool. And I'm an '80s kid, so I love '80s music. It was all around. I give it a 10 as well. It was a fun show, and they signed on for season 2, which is awesome.
Yeah, So, just to give you guys a little bit of content on what's going on here. If you guys haven't seen The Suicide Squad, which is the second one, but by James Gunn, it's a continuation, just like what Joe said. We get a character that we thought was dead, but actually, if you watch the ending scenes, he actually comes back alive.
I didn't see the ending scene, by the way. I watched the movie and I shut it off. I didn't know there was no ending scene. I'm being honest.
Wow,
that's a rookie mistake.
Yes, because I'm like going into. I'm like, how's he coming back? He's dead. Maybe they're gonna show his life before.
Honestly, Chris, I would wait till the end of a remake of Pride and Prejudice just to see if Samuel Jackson shows up now, because that's how trained I am.
Yeah, guys, please wait until the whole entire credits is over, because do you know these movies now? They're gonna have an end scene now. So we know that Peacemaker is alive from the ending scene. So this is a continuation. If you guys remember in the Suicide Squad, what's that lady's name? That she's like the head of that secret crime.
Oh yeah, Lady Hydra.
Lady Hydra, yeah. What's her real name? Oh, Amanda Walker.
Amanda Walker.
Waller. I don't know. I keep saying Walker, but Waller.
You're still on Fast and the Furious.
Sorry.
Rest in peace, Paul.
But Amanda Waller, right? You know, she got beat up. So hardcore. The dye beard. Dye beard. And oh my gosh, what's that guy's name? The other guy's name.
The leading guy, the leader.
Yeah, the leader guy.
We're talking about Suicide Squad, right?
No.
No.
Peacemaker.
Oh, John Cena.
No, not John Cena. How dare you?
Well, the one that was Butterfly. We'll just leave it like that.
Mern.
It was Mern.
Mern.
I didn't know who we were talking about.
They got demoted, right? They got demoted into this Butterfly operation, which they recruited Peacemaker because he still has that chip in the back of his head from Suicide Squad, right? And then we get into real quick into the storyline of Project Butterfly. I don't know about you guys, but that first butterfly that he made love to, that
it was love. I don't think it was love. I think it was just lust.
Well, I think he's more sensitive than we give him credit for, and but I mean, it might have been Whoopi just for fun of it, if I can be quite frank.
He was in jail for how many years? So,
come on now, guys. But yeah, after he made lust love, my boy got tossed around in the freaking living room from this.
Wait. Before he got tossed around, he was dancing and singing.
Oh yeah.
Around the whole apartment before she kicked his butt.
Kicked his butt. Which I thought was funny for a butterfly to be like, you know what? Let me shower real quick. Let me get clean, and then bust this guy, which is hilarious. But so going off this Project Butterfly, what was your thoughts in terms of this a new villain that we don't really know about? I know for myself, I don't read too much DC Comics, but even having something called Project Butterfly, I think it would, for me, sound like a unique villain for Peacemaker initially. But I want to hear your thoughts on what you guys thought of this villain. Let's go with Joe.
Oh, we're gonna go with me. Okay, so I mean, you know, once again, as far as I have to look at the show as singular, because I got to separate it from everything else, and it had a very Men in Black vibe, while still being ridiculously James Gunn, because when you give James Gunn an R rating, that's just gonna happen. He's gonna make fun and weird, but then he's gonna make it ridiculously violent. So I thought the plot was surprising when they said Project Butterfly. I didn't think it was an actual, like, didn't think they were going to go into like an alien storyline, which they did. And I thought it was I thought it was a cool storyline. I kind of liked the whole thing with Myrn being a double agent, because when they did that whole like reveal at the end of one of episodes,
Right.
where it showed that he was like like a creature, I was just like, oh shoot, this is how they unite the team. But they went another way with it, and he wound up being a good butterfly. And were the butterflies bad?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So initially, we'll get to that. So Chris, go ahead. What do you think about Project Butterfly?
So, just like Joe said, when they said Project Butterfly, I wasn't really thinking of a butterfly. But then, I wasn't thinking of butterfly, but for James Gunn to dip his hands into, like, comic books, like an archive of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what Project Butterfly was, and I had to do some research with DC. It was a line of comics way back when, but it didn't do so well in sales of comics back then. But it was a good storyline. I enjoyed it, but I also enjoyed the drops of names of different villains or heroes in the DC universe, which was awesome because they had some weird villains and some weird heroes in their comics. And just to hear the names, like he talked about Kite Man, even though Kite Man we get to see in a cartoon series of Harley Quinn, but to see that and hear that, he had fun with it. He really, like, the whole show was fun. He was, and he didn't, like Joe said, having an R rating, he went for it, man. He just took off, running with it. But Project Butterfly, it was a good twist to start off the story.
Yeah, and I guess to go off Joe's point, at least they did keep the same theme from Suicide Squad, because it was a big starfish, and they called it Project Starfish, and then they're like, oh, this is Project Butterfly, and I love how Peacemaker goes, wait, don't tell me I gotta kill a big ass moth. And he's like, can I get a backpack? You go, and they're like, what? They're like, Project Butterfly. I'm pretty sure the villain's a butterfly. So I love how they played into that little joke and narrative. Kind of like going off what Chris said. It is a little. He went deep, into the archive, went into the comics, because I didn't know what the heck. I didn't even think this was real. I thought he was just kind of just going off his imagination. But in that, we do get different characters that we kind of involve, kind of like love, especially because initially we all were like, okay, we're gonna kill all these butterflies, until we meet Golf. right. He goes into those people's houses, kills them, and then we think initially he was gonna kill Golf, which is an actual butterfly, right? We see it, and then he doesn't kill it, right? The next episode, he doesn't kill it. He has it in his little jar, and he's feeding Golf with like honey, keeping Golf alive. And we see this development of Peacemaker and Golf the butterfly. And before we get into that part of it, can I want to know you guys' thoughts on Vigilante?
Awesome sidekick. I mean, he made the show. Sidekick. That was like, that was good. And it's a twist of what Vigilante was in the comics. It's a twist to it. I liked it.
And wasn't it cool to finally get a sidekick?
Well, that's his second sidekick. His first sidekick is the Eagle.
Right.
Which is named
Eagly.
Have we not talked about Eagle yet?
No.
Star of the show.
The star of the show. Oh my gosh.
Joe,
do you want to talk about Eagly?
Eagly's just a CGI bird. A CGI eagle.
He's a real bird.
He's a real bird.
My wife goes, that eagle's not real, right? That's not. It's CGI. It looks real, but it's.
Oh, it's a real bird. No, in my heart, it's real.
I'm pretty sure they've done. I mean, it was pretty realistic at some time, so I'm sure there was like puppetry involved. But I mean, yeah, I mean, the basic premise is he's got this pet bird that is just like, that like acts on a human level almost, but not really, and only he really thinks he's that smart. And like the bird hugs him, and he makes a big deal out of it. And there's a plot point with Amanda Waller's daughter, spoiler alert, where she sees him hugging an eagle, and that's what makes.
She felt like an American at that point.
An eagle. But I mean, here's the one thing I do want to say about the show, because we can jump. I mean, when you're doing a season review, it's really hard not to jump into 50 plot points. But on an overall structure, here's where I think it really worked. Because once again, you can't look at this as an entry into the DC universe, because nobody knows what the DC universe is really right now. If they turn it into the multiverse with the Flash and do it the right way, it's going to be pretty cool, and we can have some symmetry again. But I mean, the cool thing about a show like this is they're able to what's the best way to put it? They're able to Roger Rabbit it. Take a real world that has real people living real lives, and then take an animated world and just have them coexist, even though they're wildly different and they don't mix, but this is just reality. So they did that with this show in a way where you had a real world, real violence, real people, like almost like a Man of Steel vibe, but then they added in comic books, but completely unfiltered it. They didn't try to make the comic book side fit in with reality. They're just like, these characters are going to be as outlandish or more outlandish than they are in the comics. Right. And it's just like, and they're not apologizing for it. So once you got past that, you just got on board with it.
Yeah, and I think it worked because Peacemaker, in a sense, kind of felt like the DC universe of Deadpool.
A little bit.
Because think about it, Deadpool, he doesn't care. He breaks the fourth wall, and he makes all these jokes about X-Men, right? And how the studio can't afford all these characters, right? And now you go to Peacemaker, and he makes all these jokes about these dumb names. Let's be honest. Kite Man? Really?
Like, the dude flying around with a kite on his back.
Let's not forget him spreading a terrible rumor about a fish.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Aquaman making love to a fish. Yes. Okay, that he pays the aquarium to go backstage to make love to good fish.
There was another guy he brought. His name
That's true, yeah.
It was Bite Man.
Or Bite Man, yeah,
goes,
dude.
You should have seen him when he went to a Wendy's. He ate everything.
Oh my god!
Like, come on.
But I think that was the best. I think that was a good part of Peacemaker. You can have serious moments, but also have comedy, and it wasn't forced. Nor did it feel forced. It just went smooth along with it. But going back into, I guess, the golf or the Project Butterfly scenario, which was the whole entire main story plot of the show. We do get Golf, who he picks up, and when Golf takes over that police cop, right? What was your thoughts at that point? Did you really think that Golf was going to go and continue the mission, or did you think at that point Golf was going to be like, you know what, Peacemaker, I love you, so I'm going to stay by your side?
No, I thought he was going to continue the mission.
I continued the mission, and I thought he was going to try to kill Peacemaker.
I was actually surprised that they didn't. Yeah. That was a nice little way they kind of did the progression. That it was just like, hey, we're actually friends.
Basically, you're not that smart, so we want to be your friend, and we're going to show you we trust you.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, that story part. One of the best scenes in the series is when a Goth takes over the woman cop, and all of a sudden she goes back and she calls in reinforcements, and these things are flying into the police station and taking I need to go back to Diebeard when he had the presentation on how these butterflies get into the human body. He put the mouth, the ear, and then he had one with the backside. He goes, "That's an awesome presentation, but do you really know that they do that?" That was like, but that scene going to the police station, them taking over everybody was awesome. You're actually seeing it, and building an army. That was pretty cool. You know, that's where I was like, okay, these are the bad guys. All right, what is this team gonna do now to try to take out these?
Yeah.
Because the team was falling apart up to this point.
Right, because they didn't. Yeah, and that's the one thing. You know, you get a team that are, I guess, secret agents. They don't trust each other. Hardcore didn't, you know. By the way, hardcore. She's hardcore to the bone. But you have hardcore who doesn't share her emotions, doesn't tell her story, and then you do have Myrrh, who is actually a double agent butterfly who wants to shut this down. You got Diebeard, who is just a computer nerd
and
doesn't do.
Can I go back to him when he sets up Peacemaker's dad for everything, and that one episode where Peacemaker just goes off a list of people that he could have like set up besides his dad, and just to see that as an extra credit scene and how long it went, and how John Cena kept a straight face through that whole thing, I would have been laughing through the whole thing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was good.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, and he just Miley Cyrus, the Jonas Brothers.
Also, the side plot of his dad being Ku Klux Iron Man.
Right, and that goes back to the whole entire team, right? You have these secret agents that didn't trust each other, but also you could see that they also have a view of Peacemaker, right? Because of who his dad was, this white supremacist who was just like, I just want white power, and I want to be the man. And you saw that tension there, when they framed his dad of the license plates of the car. They framed him for breaking into that apartment and killing those people, sending him to jail, Vigilante going to jail, and then trying to beat up his dad and making it worse, and then his dad breaking free and becoming this white supremacist Iron Man, which was kind of creepy. He looked like a beetle to me. I don't know.
The white beetle.
The white beetle, yeah.
We're not going to talk about the White Panther trailer either. Moon Knight?
Moon Knight.
You got me. Wow. You know what, Joe? You won. You won this round. I'm out.
I put cat ears on him and I put it in my story. Nobody laughed. I did though.
Dang it, Joe got us. Dang it. All right, sorry. You got me. That was so good, White Panther. Okay, back to Peacemaker, back to DC. But yeah, guys, how'd you feel about that subplot that they added that also helped build Peacemaker's own character development?
It was.
Let's go with Joe. Sorry, Chris.
It was good. You got to see the struggles of his life. You saw him. His dad used to have Fight Club in the backyard, and him and his older brother got pinned against one another, and took one punch, and his brother had a seizure and died right there. So he had a lot of weight on his shoulders of, disappointment. So you could see that the what his dad was and what he became, and you can see how it didn't matter how many men, women, and children he killed for peace. You get to see that. Nice. You get to see why he said that, and the development, from the beginning and end, he struggled, especially when he had to kill Golf, and he missed the opportunity because he couldn't pull the trigger. You got to see it to develop, and then how it fixed in the end. But it's not really 100% fixed in the end.
Right. What about you, Joe? What do you think about that subplot of his father?
I think they really expanded. I like that they kind of even went into like a lot of it, like kind of went back to the Suicide Squad about his decision to kill Rick Flag and how that haunted him.
And that clip came up a few times during the series.
Many times too.
Yeah, so there was a driving factor that he didn't want to be this guy because I think he related this guy to his father, who he loved his father but also hated at the same time because he was constantly trying to win their approval by just doing whatever it takes, and he would never get it. It's kind of like me and dating, so it's just like it's not a good combo.
How dare you, guys? Joe is single and ready to mingle. This
Oh,
put his number up. Number will pop up.
His email, email him, DM him.
Probably, I don't know if I'm. You know what? Let's cut that part out.
Okay, we'll cut it out. But anyway, so
apparently some of our other videos have been watched.
I blame Chris. It's been Chris's fault. But so going back to the narrative, I'm not sorry. Going back to the narrative of Peacemaker and his father. And we know that at the end, he does kill his father, right? He finally breaks that barrier of actually killing him, being a man and not a punk, and actually kills his dad. And now he struggles with that aftermath, of seeing his dad, his illusions in his mind. Do you think, because we know that we are going to get a season 2, we know that, do you think that's going to be a struggle that he has for maybe throughout his whole entire life, the struggle of, am I actually doing this for peace? Am I doing this for approval?
I mean, we're asking the deep questions now.
I know.
We're getting into it. Because again, right, we look at back when he looks back at Suicide Squad where he kills
Flag?
Yes, thank you, Rick Flag. And he always, the quote that Rick Flag says, Peacemaker, what a joke, right? Like, oh, you're for peace? What a joke.
And
now he's struggling.
And Peacemaker's dad said almost exactly the same thing to him. A few times during the season before he killed his dad. So, I think this is something that's going to last a while. Plus, his dad gave him his weapons. Well, not his weapons.
Right.
Gave him his helmets.
Right.
I didn't know there were different things with his helmet. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool that he had different helmets that did different things.
Well, if your dad's racist Iron Man, I suppose that anything's possible.
Yeah, that was his iron suit.
I'm questioning the financial burden behind that as well as the technical prowess, since he lived in like a half trailer. But I guess his dad just had a ranch. Mm-hmm. It was just a ranch. I don't know what town that was. I forget what they said.
The neighbor was awesome.
No.
His neighbor was.
His
neighbor was cool.
His neighbor was in the stinking intro too.
Yes.
Batman doesn't kill. Batman is a puss. How many times Batman could have saved people if he just killed them, but he kept sending them to Arkham City and they kept breaking out and they kept killing people. Sorry. That scene was awesome. It was hilarious. But yeah, so it was I think that narrative was cool. I kind of wish it kept going, to be honest. I wish it didn't end in the first season. That his dad is now dead.
Yeah. I think they'll probably have a lot of material to go back and do flashbacks on, because that's probably something that's going to haunt him and stuff like that. But, kind of wrapping up the series, the whole thing went towards, the butterflies take over an entire police force, and then they find out that, what they're trying to protect is a cow.
Yeah.
But it's like a space cow of some sort that they get their nutrients in. So without having that, they'll all die out. So you get this final action scene where they confront it, and the space cow's just awesome.
Before we get to the space cow, the one thing that got me during the season was they showed a gorilla was missing from a zoo. So I'm like, okay, maybe we're getting Gorilla Grodd. That would have been awesome, And then they cut to he's in this facility where they make the food for the butterflies, and I really thought we were getting Gorilla Grodd. I think that's the only thing that was I was a little disappointed that we didn't get. But then also thinking about it is, I don't know how it would have fit with everything, but this is a story that you could fit anything into it. It would have been great. It would have been.
Yeah.
Well, James Gunn even said that, like, he's like, I'm surprised what they actually let me get away with after I filmed some of it. I don't think they knew what they were signing off on, which goes to the whole cameo stuff at the end, which he said Marvel filmed for him.
Yeah, Marvel. But yeah, so going to Joe's point, yeah, they kill this cow, cow or never, and they kill the cow. All the butterflies are destroyed except for Golf. Right, Golf is still alive. We know that Peacemaker kind of is done with the mission. Right, Amanda Waller, her daughter.
I heard Mando Waller.
Going
and
on,
I'm here for it.
The Spanglish.
Dude, what? Dude, I blame it on Spanish people, but I blame it on pupusas, my mom. I hope my mom doesn't watch this. But yeah, so the ending scene, right, where we get Project Butterflies being completed, right? We see Murr's already dead, right? Golf is living with Peacemaker. Amanda Waller's daughter reveals the whole entire operation of Arcus on what she's been doing with the Suicide Squad, right? To the news, to the whole entire America. And we see Diebeard going back into the office. So with all these narratives of people, kind of going back to their regular lives before this, what do you think is the next step for Peacemaker?
Team up with Red Hood, probably.
Red Hood.
Sorry, I just finished Titans.
Yeah,
Actually,
I think we're gonna get like new characters next season. I would like to see some of these characters that they're naming, like I want to see Kite Man or But I would like to also see some people come back from the Suicide Squad, because it'll be a good cameo for them to come back, maybe act a little bit in.
Well, who did we have that wasn't huge names though? I mean, Idris Elba, Weasel.
We could have Harley Quinn.
We could have the Weasel.
Just to have a cameo for a couple episodes. I mean, I think the door is open for many possibilities for a season 2. Now we're gonna probably get, since he messed with Aquaman, maybe we're gonna get Project Fish. I don't know. So, but how cool was Project that cameo at the end?
I liked it. I mean, I think a lot of people kind of just like, oh, if you're just going to do the cameos, because they basically cameoed the whole Justice League. But of course, like, Batman wasn't there, and I think they did that even though they could have kept him in the shadows like they did with Wonder Woman and Superman. I think they did that very purposefully because of Ben Affleck's, coming up exit and Robert Pattinson like taking over, which I don't know how they're going to involve that in the multiverse, because I know it's separate, but I do hear there's phenomenal reviews for it so far, so I'm excited for that.
Aquaman and Flash were in it because they're filming movies at the time that this was being filmed, so they were all in studio. So I think James Gunn probably had an idea. They'll come in, but we'll only show these two. But I wish I seen the other ones.
Yeah, I think. But also, those two are not in flux. Like Wonder Woman, the last Wonder Woman didn't really perform all that well, nor should it have, because never mind. I love ladies, I really do. But and then then we know what's going on with Batman, and then Superman. It's just like we don't know what the heck if Henry Cavill will ever play him again.
Rumors this week that he might. The Rock is really trying to push for him to come back because he would like to face him on the big screen as Black Adam. So, yes,
that would be awesome, because he really was a good Clark Kent. But at this point, if they're redoing if they're doing the multiverse story, and with all the different actors, it's getting too confusing. They have a new mainstay, actor. And as depressing as it is, Henry Cavill first suited up and I apologize, Henry, if you're watching this and I pronounced your name wrong. He first suited up 10 years ago, 11 years ago. When they started filming it. It was 2015
right out
when it was released.
Iron Man, I believe. It was.
No, it wasn't that. It was 2013 when it released.
Yeah,
It was after
2013 when they came out.
Yeah. I know movie dates. That's about the only thing I know.
He does. Because he proved me wrong on Superman versus Batman. And
16, March.
Yeah, he got me. But yeah, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. Give me your ending thoughts of the show, and what's some two things you want to tell these people who probably haven't watched the show? What are two things that will force them to watch the show? That's right, force, because we're one with the force. Chris,
it's a nutty, fun show. You don't need to know the characters before you even watch it. You can just go right in blind, and then you'll know what's going on. That's the cool thing about it is you really don't need to know anything, going into it. You didn't even need to watch the movie before you saw the show. You really didn't need to. So it's fun, and you'll have a laugh. You'll have numerous laughs. I mean, I laughed. Like, I haven't laughed so much on a TV show in a long time. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm struggling, right? When Chris said nutty, I had looked straight up and saw Count Dooku's lightsaber, which kind of looks like a wang, a little bit tilted.
Oh, no.
And I just got distracted from the whole question. So I believe that it was regarding, say it one more time.
Yeah, so as we wrap up this series, what are the way?
Does it vibrate?
He called Count Dooku a wang.
I just said his lightsaber is very phallic looking. That's all.
Oh, dude. No wonder.
Like, if I were to imagine Christopher Lee's manhood, I feel like it would be kind of angled like that because he was very classy.
And he holds it like this, too.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, the wang. Okay. Well, damn it, Joe. You got me again. But for the season review, what are some key things that you want people to know? If they haven't watched the show, what are certain things they need to know so they are forced to watch the show? Okay,
well, number one, don't have your kids in the room. I think it's just like you gotta, like, if you're purist like I kind of am when it comes to symmetry, you gotta check that at the door. You got to look at this like it's like Kick-Ass or something, because it has that similar feel. Like, what if we brought real comic book characters into the real world type of thing? But it's just in more of a fun way where it's just like, this is like it's just a good time. You turn it on, you suspend your belief, and it's like you'll actually feel like it does actually go in there. So I don't think there's any reason not to watch it unless, you have problems with nudity, Count Dooku, or, John Cena.
Is it me? Or every movie, it's either he has to be butt naked or he has to be in tighty whities.
He does
that was the same thing with Chris Evans. Every movie he had to have his shirt off.
Or whipped cream on his crotch.
I remember that.
That too.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We're definitely getting flagged. But
this is not a kid's show.
Definitely, this is not a kid's show. It's not for kids. We put that when we upload. But yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Peacemaker, definitely watch it. The first season is on HBO Max. It's definitely a funny show, and it has the right amount of comedy, action, and definitely do not watch it with your kids because. What kind of parents are you? Sorry. But yeah.
Cool ones, probably.
Yeah, true. Probably cool ones. But yeah, guys, definitely watch it. You heard it from Chris and Joe. They give it 10 out of 10. Your boy's giving it a 10 out of 10. The show's phenomenal. Better than Book of Boba. Forget about Star Wars. Get your butt onto this DC train because next time we're all together, we're talking about Batman. studio saying
Okay.
it's time to close out.
All right.
Chris is talking too much. Oh,
You're
I'm fired. I'm getting fired. Oh, Joe's taking over. Cool. All right. No. Oh, I shouldn't be saying this right now. Okay. Well, guys. Well, it was nice knowing you guys. I guess you guys heard it live. This is my last.
You're last.
You're last.
We're still under. Me and Joe are still under contract.
Yeah.
You screwed up. You said
Yeah.
10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10. The math was wrong. It was actually a 60. So,
Yeah.
way to add.
Yeah.
That's not the Star Trek sign. That's this.
Nanu.
Come on, man. You're better than that. Yeah. Nice.
Just remember, everybody,
I'm out, guys.
in order to be a superhero, you have to have villains. Talk to you guys next time.
And just remember, guys, zip up your fly. Have a good one.